Yes, actually, we are back live now. We are back live again, to be honest. There was an internet issue. That's the reason. Apologies for that. So it's City versus City versus Ipswich Town. There's blue smoke flowing all over the stadium. It's covering the entire stadium. Bright afternoon. It's a great weekend. It's a great Saturday evening if you're watching from India. And it can't be any more sweeter because Manchester United have just lost. Manchester United have lost 2-1. That too in the 95th minute. Bloody how sweet can it be? How much more sweeter can it get? You don't know what could happen in the later game of the day, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Maybe Unai Emery could make it all the more sweeter for us. You never know. I mean, I thought he'll start Walker. He's starting Rico Lewis. Maybe it's Ipswich Town. That's why, no disrespect to them, but that's the reason Pep is giving an extended rest to Walker, maybe. Savio is getting an extended run out. Jeremy Doku, Bernardo Silva. He's starting Kevin De Bruyne every game. Bayaji is here. Hey Bayaji, how are you doing? Gunda Bhai is back. Come on City Bayaji, ये शहर का गुंडा वापस आ गया है. इस शहर का एक ही गुंडा हो सकता है और वो है गुंडोगन, मैनचेस्टर का गुंडा. Gundogan back is. I can just imagine how Mikel Arteta is feeling. Mikel Arteta brings in Mikel Moreno, not because they have the same surname, but because Mikel Arteta thinks he needs a player like Gundogan who can go forward and score goals and who can also cover up for Rice and Partey. And thinks they've got the edge on us, and suddenly Gundogan comes back. The OG Gundogan comes back. I can just imagine what Mikel Arteta is thinking. And I'm just tired of Arsenal fans comparing Mikel Moreno and Mikel Arteta, to be honest. Sorry, Mikel Moreno and Gundogan, to be honest. Mikel Moreno is just a sideways passing passenger. Ilkay Gundogan last season in La Liga had 9.44 expected XA, which is just second to Savio, who had the best XA in La Liga last season. Ilkay Gundogan was the second best player behind Jude Bellingham in La Liga last season. In a struggling Barcelona team, that was like that's like the Spurs team, you can say, or like the Chelsea team, you can say, of the Premier League. And they're comparing Mikel Moreno to Ilkay Gundogan. Idiots, just idiots. All of the Arsenal fans. Gautam is here. Hey there, citizens. Hey Gautam, how are you doing? History makers. Gautam says Gundo is back. We talked about it in the last stream about Cancelo swap, and guess what? Gundo came back. I think Gautam Gundo tuned into us, our show, and he saw the conversation and thought, it's time to go to Manchester. Fans there are discussing more about me than the fans here. He just didn't feel loved in Barcelona, and that's the fact. You ask Barca fans, and they'll say Gundogan did not love being at Barcelona. And just look at it, straight away he's in the first team. Straight away he's in the squad. Cancelo is another interesting thing, Adam, because there's talk with Al Hilal that we'll sell Cancelo to them for 40 million euros. 40 million for Cancelo? We bought him for 50 million, so that's a huge deal. 40 million for a 30-year-old? Wow. We are. This season, if we complete the Cancelo deal, I think we would have an expend of around 150 million pounds, minus 150 million pounds. Kudos to the club for all of the efficient business, to be honest. And the match is almost about to be kicked off. And before we started, इस शहर में एक ही गुंडा हो सकता है और वो है गुंडोगन. I repeat it again. मैनचेस्टर का गुंडा वापस आ गया है. And it's kicked off. And Phil Foden is an interesting one for me, to be honest. City get the ball back already and lose it as well with Savio. He doesn't lose many balls, but yeah, Phil Foden is an interesting one for me. Not in the squad. Do you guys think Pep is giving him an extra rest or that kind of a thing? I don't know, because it feels strange because last season Phil Foden did everything he could do to come in to get into that attacking midfield spot. Phil Foden did absolutely everything. 19 goals, won us the title by himself. Ortega save and everything is there, but Foden won us the title by himself on more occasions than not. I mean, it's a big dilemma to be honest. It's a huge dilemma. It's an absolutely huge dilemma in terms of where do you play Phil Foden? On the wings is useless. I mean, not his position. I think Bernardo, Foden, KDB, can it work? I don't know. Savio, Rico Lewis combining. Rico Lewis goes forward. The positioning sense of Rico Lewis is just superb. It's just excellent. Manuel Akanji there. It's a back three for City. City are on the attack. It's 3-5-2. Doku is the second striker. That's an excellent cross by Savio and well defended by Ipswich Town. Ruben Diaz there. That is wonderful defending by Ruben Diaz. It's a 3-5-2. City are just putting the entire plague on Ipswich Town already. City are just making Ipswich Town earn a touch of the football. You can see the difference in what is happening here and what happened in the first game. You could say against Liverpool. Liverpool new coach, Pep Guardiola established system. Ipswich Town will find a little bit harder than they did against Liverpool for sure. That's a great ball and it's Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku on the ball. Jeremy Doku, that's an excellent pass to Bernardo Silva and that has to be I thought that was a goal, guys. How close can it be? How close can it be, guys? How close can it be? Muric, he has spent a lot of time at the Etihad Stadium as well. That is wonderful there. That is absolutely superb there from Josko Guardiola. What a ball, and I thought Erling Haaland just reached it. Yeah, we have Ipswich Town on the ropes right now. What a ball in by Josko Guardiola there. Superb from Josko Guardiola, to be honest. Fast start for City, 2 minutes, and already I think half chance and a full chance. We have had at least one decent chance till now in the first 2 minutes. Rico Lewis is playing like he's played there forever for City. He's 18 years old and is just playing so good over there. Manuel Akanji. I mean, there are too many dilemmas if you ask me. Where does John Stones and Nathan Ake play? Where does Phil Foden play? Where does Gundogan play? Now he's come back. City squad is just stacked. Jeremy Doku. Kevin De Bruyne on the wing. Doku will go through the middle. Kovacic with a heavy touch. Doesn't happen often. It's a free kick for Ipswich. Gautam says another interesting player linked Kyogo. Really liked the style of play. And by the way, Gautam, we have signed Devin Mbuma from West Ham. Okay, he'll play with the under 21s. Haaland should have made it 1-0 there. Haaland should have absolutely made it 1-0 there. The defender probably held him a bit, but and looking at Devin Mbuma's play, it reminded me of Antonio. The way Antonio moves, his technical ability on the ball. Interesting one for the academy. And Kyogo, he might not be young like Alvarez. He's 28, I think, Kyogo. Somewhere there. But one thing about Kyogo is a deadly finisher. Kyogo is one of the deadliest forwards around in world football. You see his finishing, it's ice cold. I think if Kyogo's finishing is better than Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, everything Arsenal have got, and everything even United have got as well. Not Liverpool, because Liverpool have superb finishes, but Kyogo is better than most forwards at finishing. His movement is deadly, his finishing is deadly. You know what they say about Kyogo? The the opponents and stuff, it's almost dizzying to face him. It's absolutely dizzying to face him. City have lost the ball. Omari Hutchinson and Mateo Kovacic does extremely well there. Mateo Kovacic with the ball. Kovacic defense attributes have just improved so much. What a run there by Kovacic. Doku just couldn't. Doku just couldn't get there. But Kyogo is always moving. It's a nightmare to mark him. I mean, signing Kyogo and linking both Kyogo and Haaland together. I don't know how you do it, but if you do it, it reminds me of Aguero and Negredo for Kevin De Bruyne. And City get the ball back again. We are just not able to thread that final pass through like it happened against Chelsea. But Kyogo is bloody dizzying to mark Gautam. Given the ball back, the final ball is not happening inside the box. This is where sometimes you need Phil Foden. And Ipswich Town score. Ipswich Town score. Ipswich supporters are jumping. Ipswich Town score. What the hell? How did that just happen? Ipswich Town score. What the hell? We just did not want this start. But Ipswich Town score. What the hell, guys? It's not offside as well. Pep Guardiola and Juan Malilo are checking. It's not offside as well. We lose the ball in that midfield. No, it's the runner from the middle. I just thought it could sneak from the other side of on the other side of the post, but no. Ipswich Town score. Ederson should have probably saved that. Not a good start to the evening. I thought United lost. A couple of early goals from Haaland and we could just start the business, but no. Looks like it will be a difficult evening for us. What the hell is just happening, guys? Such a high line disrespecting the pace of Ipswich Town, and Ipswich Town take a lead against us. Can we bounce back quickly? Gautam says Eddie is a poor shot stopper, no brainer. That is true, that is true. That's a penalty. That's a penalty, I think. It's a new ref, but I think that's probably a penalty. But is it inside the box? That is the question. Maybe just outside the box, to be honest. Savio thinks it's a penalty. Let's see what the referee gives. Guys, what do you think? It's definitely inside the box. Anurag is here. He says, "Hi man, hey Anurag, how are you doing?" Chase cases. What I said, Edison needs to leave. But is it a penalty? Gautam says on the line, but Gautam, the referee is going and checking it, I think. He's checking it in the monitor. Has to be a penalty. Has to be a penalty. Yes, it's a penalty. The comments are telling it's a penalty. Right. I can't see this penalty somehow. Erling Haaland, Erling, please score. Erling. His 1 foot is inside, which means it's inside the box for sure. It's a penalty. Let me have some water before Erling Haaland takes the pen. Can't watch it, guys. Can't watch it. How are you guys able to watch it? Can't watch it. Erling Haaland on penalty duty. Can he get his second goal of the season? Aro Muric, grown up at the Etihad Stadium, is a good penalty stopper, to be honest. He's from our youth academy as well. Aro Muric and James Trafford, both of them went to Burnley last season. Now Aro Muric has come from Burnley to Ipswich Town. Let's see Erling Haaland with the penalty. Can he score it? Can Erling Haaland score it? And Erling Haaland scores it! It's 1-1! Paya says this ref is clueless. Exactly. I haven't seen this ref. I'm seeing this ref for the first time. But Erling Haaland scores! It's 1-1! City are up and running. Look at Erling Haaland. Ah! I didn't understand why didn't the ref give it. I didn't understand why didn't the ref give it, guys. It was such a clear penalty. It was in front of the ref's eyes. The way Savio fell down. I don't know why the ref didn't give it, to be honest. Erling Haaland sends Aaron Muric the wrong way, but even if he went the right way, he was not saving that. Don't don't let Bernardo Silva take it. Of course not. Of course not. Now better we tidy up. Now we better tidy up, to be honest. Now we better tidy up. Now we better tidy up. But honestly, but honestly, if you look back in that goal, at that goal, it's easy to blame. It's easy to blame Ederson. Yes, he should have saved that. It's easy to blame the defense. But but for me, I think why was there so much time for the Ipswich player to play the ball? Where was the pressing in the midfield? If you go back and see that ball, the defense was there, and there was no pressing once we lost the ball. How did an Ipswich Town player have the time, that much time to release that ball? Because it wasn't an easy pass to play, whoever played it. And Erling Haaland scores again! Erling, it's Kevin De Bruyne! Sorry, it's Kevin De Bruyne! Woo! 2-1! Savio is just lit! Gotham, Savio is just lit! KDB scores. For a moment, I literally thought Erling Haaland scored, but KDB scores because he's in that position. KDB scores. Woo! But that pressing was superb. Who did that pressing? I think it was Savio with the pressing, I think, if I'm not wrong. But who did the pressing, guys? It was Savio, I think, right? What a goal. Wow. Look at the pressing of Savio, guys. Look at the pressing of Savio. Look at the pressing of Savio there. You're right, Gotham. Savio is just lit. Look at his pressing. Wow, this guy is a pressing monster. Just look at how he's pressed the goalkeeper. I mean, his technique is wonderful over there. He just goes right in front of the goalkeeper and doesn't give Aaron Munich to react. And also Savio comes from behind. If Savio would come from in front of Muric, Muric recovers and probably plays that sideways pass. But Savio comes from behind and does press. Savio 2 assists. I mean, the first goal for the penalty is not an assist, but if you're playing FPL, you have 2 assists from Savio already. What a ball that is! Erling Haaland is through, and it's a third goal! We are 3 goals up! Wow! We are 3 goals up! Wow! Erling Haaland scores the third goal! Guys, Erling Haaland scores the third goal! Wow! Haaland scores! And just like that, Gautam, we are 3 goals up! We are 3 goals up just like that! 3-1! 3-1. Cute boy is asking how to watch. JSK has replied to you, cute boy. You can go there. But just like that, ऐसा लगता है एक गोल बस ऐसे ही शगुन में दे दिए. शगुन में एक गोल ले लो. नया आए हो डिवीजन में, you're new to the division. Please take one goal in शगुन. फिर बाकी हम शुरू करेंगे खेल. Wow, 5 minutes, 3 goals. Gotham just 5 minutes, 3 goals. We have seen this before, and we will see this again and again and again. Wow, and look at the finish as well. That is not an easy finish. Balls bouncing. This is Erling Haaland. It is absolute deadly best. Just look at the finishing, guys. The finishing is just supreme. This is the goal scoring ability of the best striker in the world right now. I think sometimes most of the time you see Erling Haaland's physical attributes, and it just reminds me of one player. It reminds me of Adriano, the beast. Yes, Adriano was a much better dribbler and all of that, but just in terms of the goal scoring, finishing, and his physical prowess, it just reminds me of one guy, and they used to call him the Emperor, Adriano. That's what many people say, R9 and all of those things, but Adriano for me was the Emperor. He was a better goal scorer than R9 if you ask me, Adriano. That's what Erling Haaland is for me. Bhaiya just says, oh, Ipswich be like, saas lene do bhai. but then City saying, शगुन तो ले लिया तुम लोगों ने, सास किस बात की. ये एतिहाद स्टेडियम है. यहाँ बड़े बड़े लोग आके सांस नहीं ले पाते हैं. मिकेल आर्टेटा की आर्सेनल को पूछो क्या हुआ उनके साथ. क्लब के लिवरपूल से पूछो, प्राइम लिवरपूल 2018-19 एतिहाद स्टेडियम में आके सांस नहीं ले पाए. वो सीजन 18-19 एक ही गेम हारे सीजन में, पर टाइटल हार गए. दैट वन गेम दे लॉस्ट एट द एतिहाद स्टेडियम. ऐसे होता है एतिहाद स्टेडियम में खेलना. Jeremy Doku in, almost Jeremy Doku in there. Wow. Bhaiya, this is what a pass by KDB. KDB has returned to beast mode, to be honest, Bhayaji. What a goal, what a pass, and what a finish as well. What a finish as well. By Erling Haaland. Not an easy finish at all. Can Haaland get his hat-trick? Customary hat-trick? You better. You must be a brave guy not to bet. You must be a brave guy to bet against Erling Haaland scoring that hat-trick. Jeremy Doku. But Savio, क्या player है भाई. Savio is just wonderful. Especially that pressing for the second goal. I'm just mesmerized. For me, Savio has the silkiness and touch of Mahrez and Leroy Sané, especially Mahrez. And also Savio has the beast-like, industrious attitude of Bernardo Silva. Rico Lewis. That's a corner for City. I want Savio to take all our corners. But still, we are 3-1 up. But what Pep will be worried about is that first goal. That is the perfectionist which Pep is. That's why it's 4-4, 5-6. Kevin De Bruyne, Savio. It is close to a fourth for us. JSK says Savio is basically Mahrez with pace. I think JSK, there was an interesting article in Athletic where they wrote how Savio is the perfect blend of Leroy Sané and Mahrez. They wrote that if you give Pep a laboratory and tell him to create a perfect winger, that is what you get from Savio. Has the pace of Leroy Sané, has the technical ability and dribbling skills of Riyad Mahrez, doesn't lose the ball. Sané would lose the ball more often than not. And has the finishing skills, I would say he's a better finisher than both Mahrez and Sané, to be honest, Savio. And also, Savio has that industrious pressing ability of Bernardo Silva. So for me, I think Savio is three players in one, and you don't get these kind of wingers often. You see Doku, no final ball, does everything else well. You see Grealish, no pace. So all of the wingers they lack something, but Savio for me doesn't lack anything. And also his decision making ability. Savio, you watch and compare Doku with Savio. Savio never loses the ball. Yes, passes back, passes forward, passes sideways, never loses the ball. Doku doesn't still have the maturity to know when to pass back, when to pass forward. JS says he's also good at penalties. He was the third best player in La Liga last season behind Bellingham and Gundogan. He had the highest expected assists last season in La Liga. I think he got the highest MVPs. I think behind Jude Bellingham. I think that's how good Savio is. A lot of people will realize how good Savio is, and we got Savio for only 30 million. I mean, we did not pay anything literally because it was a football club in our group, so the money goes in our group. So in a way, we just spent £1 or £2 million for Savio, and not more than that when we signed him. So I think Troy signed him for around £5 million or something. Josko Guardiola off his passing. Pep will not be happy. Ake is sitting there. Kevin De Bruyne are there. Look at it. JSK says Doku's dribbling is insane though. Is insane, but that's the thing, right, JSK? Raheem Sterling, no finishing. Doku, Raheem Sterling, great final ball, no finishing. Great dribbling. Doku, great dribbling, good finishing, no final ball. Jack Grealish lacks pace, like I said, but Savio has everything: pace, finishing, dribbling, pressing, final ball. Wow, it's a complete player at 21 years we have got. And that is so insane. I think Savio has nailed down that right hand spot. Bob, when he comes back, will fight for it, but I think Savio has just nailed down that right hand spot. And the understanding between Rico Lewis and Savio just looks wonderful, to be honest. And also Gautam pointed it out. What do you guys think of Kyogo? We're signing Kyogo. Gautam was really impressed with his style of play. What is Edison doing there? I am impressed by Kyogo's deadly finishing and movement. His movement is insane. Did you guys see the style of play of Kyogo and stuff? I think Kyogo is superb, to be honest. Kevin De Bruyne, Josko Guardiola. Kevin De Bruyne again. Kevin De Bruyne is in the mood for those passes. Just imagine bringing on Gundogan as well in place of Bernardo Silva. How will Ipswich Town be able to deal with Gundo running into the box? I think it's Omari Hutchinson who's running. We have to score the fourth as well, guys. Just remember, the game's never over. I know 3-1 at home, but remember 2-0 last season, Crystal Palace. 15 minutes to go and the game ended 2-2. So anything can happen, to be honest. But City have slowed the tempo of the game down. यहाँ तुम्हें सांस भी लेना है, वो हम कहते हैं कब लेना है, कब नहीं लेना है सांस. That is how difficult it is to play at the Etihad Stadium. When was the last time we lost here? I think it's been more than a year and a half. JS says it's an interesting comment. He says, by the way, Mohan, I'm not happy with bringing back Gundogan. Can you elaborate, JSK? But why? But why? It's an interesting take. But why? Do you think it will hamper the development of certain players? Like a McAtee O'Reilly? What do you think? Why? Savio there, look at him. Rico Lewis and Savio just looks like a dream in the making. Wow, just look at that combination. But why, JSK? Please elaborate. Pep Guardiola is not happy with something. Kevin De Bruyne are pressing. Savio. Kevin De Bruyne is come on to the right hand side. The positioning of Rico Lewis is also superb, to be honest, because he also exactly is knowing when to go front, when to stay back. I mean, I think by I mean the results are Duncan Castles actually the reports are Duncan Castles actually broke it, but Kevin De Bruyne on the ball. Kevin De Bruyne, Mateo Kovacic, Jeremy Doku, Savino. Savino, can he put up cross inside? Akanji, Savino again one on one. That is excellent from Savino. Just look at that skill. Wow. Jessica says first reason, never bring back your ex. Second, it will jeopardize Kovacic's position. And third, hampers development of McCarthy and O'Reilly. I mean, JSK, I think first reason, never bring back your ex. I think if it is just read in isolation, I think it could give out a different meaning. But I think why Gundogan left was strange. I think David Ornstein broke the inside story. Ilkay Gundogan cried when he was going to Barcelona because apparently he didn't want to go, but Barca was his dream club. I mean, he just didn't want to go. But since Barca was his dream club, something he went. I mean that it's Rico. How can Rico lose miss from there? How can Rico Lewis miss from there, guys? He had all the time in the world. How can Rico Lewis miss from there? Ah, how can Rico Lewis miss from there? Had to be 4-1. Hit the bar. How can Rico Lewis miss? I think JSK honestly, Gundogan didn't want to leave, but I think they said that Barca was Gundogan's dream club and all, and also I think we also messed up his contract a bit because new reports are coming out that even Pep didn't want Gundogan to leave. Gundogan was not surplus for requirements like Pep did with Raheem Sterling and everything. But I think one thing is we needed a cover for Rodri because you just imagine if Gundogan didn't come back, I mean, there's no cover for Rodri. Reports are Duncan Castles was reporting yesterday for the BBC that uh, Sanderberg we were another bar. What is it? Two times with the bar, Kevin De Bruyne. So we were in the race to sign Sanderberg. Uh, to get a cover for Rodri. I think in a way Sanderberg is what 24, 25 something. I think maybe a little bit older than that. But if Sanderberg comes, it will definitely stop the development of O'Reilly, who I think is capable enough to play in that position. To be honest, in that Rodri role. And also Kovacic will get less minutes if Sanderberg comes in. So I think with Gundogan, you can rotate him more. Gundogan can play false nine, can cover for Haaland, can play cam, can play box to box, can play CDM. Gundogan can play 4 to 5 roles there. So I don't necessarily think it hampers the development of Mateo Kovacic, to be honest. In a way, I think Matt O'Reilly and James McCarthy can learn more from Gundogan because 33 years Gundogan will not be expected to that he will start every game. So we were anyway gonna bring on a midfielder for Rodri. I think that Calvin Phillips has left. So I think Calvin Phillips was there. If Calvin Phillips would have worked out, then Calvin Phillips would be taking the minutes of Kovacic, Rodri, whatever. Gundogan is taking Calvin Phillips' place. I look at it that way. Gundogan is taking Calvin Phillips' place. It's not a new addition to the squad or something like that. And I know we have Kevin De Bruyne shot from outside the box. I know we have got Kovacic to replace Gundogan, but then Gundogan is taking Calvin Phillips' spot. So ideally, we have just filled a hole in the squad. And Rodri can get rest as well. Gundogan in Champions League title challenges will be much more, experience, that leadership. I think it's much more of a plus, to be honest. And I honestly think 1 year, 2 years maybe, Gundogan will be here at the most. I mean, you don't know. Modric in his mid 30s was killing it. Savio again, great pressing. But again, I think how Ancelotti offered Modric the role at Madrid, maybe you can expect Gundogan to have that role at City, to be honest. Modric would come on in the last 20-25 minutes of the game. If it is a tough game, like a Champions League game, Modric would start. So Ancelotti picked matches where to start Modric. I think Pep is going to do same thing with Gundogan. Because I think Gundogan's levels are up there, to be honest. Gotham says, I think this match can be a great chance to bring in McAtee and Gundo in the second half, especially McAtee and O'Reilly, I would say. With Gundogan, I think that's the benefit. And also, I think if you bring in a new midfielder in play to cover for Rodri, Sander Berge, let's think, for example, he has to learn the Pep system. It happened with Calvin Phillips. You never know how well the player will adjust into this system. It's a risk. But now with Gundogan, suddenly you can groom a Matt O'Reilly for the next 1-2 years, and O'Reilly will be ready to take that position. Maybe Rico Lewis will grow in stature, will grow in height and physicality, and can take that position. So you never know. Savio there trying to dribble past two people, which he can't. Manuel Akanji, and for a moment I thought the header was in from Erling Haaland. Wow. So honestly, I think JSK it's a short term fix, but it's a bloody wonderful short term fix. 1 or 2 years for Gundogan. JSK says, ask Mark Gui. He can reply, how did he miss? And ask Nicholas Jackson as well. How did I mean, there's no point in asking Nicholas Jackson. I think JSK, we need to ask Nicholas Jackson, how are you bloody offside from a rebound? I've not seen even Raheem Sterling, even I have not seen even Timo Werner being offside from a rebound, and Timo Werner is called as a god of offside. I don't know what Nicholas Jackson smokes, to be honest. Gautam says, again bar. I mean, honestly, Gautam, it's good that it didn't hit the bar at 1-0. Because if we hit the bar twice at 1-0, it would be like, not our day, here we go again. But 3-1 and then bar. I mean, Ipswich Town will be regretting that they scored so early against City. हमने शेर को इतना जल्दी जगा लिया. That's what Ipswich Town be thinking. I think manager will be scolding Ipswich Town. They'll say, who told you to wake them up so early? They bloody smashed you. 3-1. Gautam says, Kowa can't sustain the entire season. His injury record is quite poor. That's the thing, Gautam, actually. Kovacic's injury record is poor. You don't know about KDB. I know there's a big dilemma right now about how do you play Foden in the midfield? Where does Gundogan fit in? When Rodri comes back and all. But I think we need to remember Kovacic's great point. We need to remember Kovacic's injury record is not the best. He cannot play the entire season. He will need shuffling about. And Rodri has played 2 full seasons. I think he's played almost 50-60 games in each of the last 2 seasons, to be honest. And you do not know if Rodri will be able to sustain the same level of fitness this season, because a human body, especially a footballer's body, can only handle that much. So, and mentally, Rodri has a chance of being burned out by playing so much football. And KDB's fitness is not exactly, KDB is not exactly 20, 26, 27 in his prime. KDB is injury record as well. We have seen in the last 2-3 seasons, KDB's injury record can be erratic. Savio cutting inside. Savio trying to shoot. That's a free kick for City. I know De Bruyne had the shot, but just look at the dribbling ability of Savio there, guys. This guy is there to stay. Savio, look at that. Wow. Wow, this is fantastic from Savio. So I think honestly Foden, Gundogan, Foden and Gundogan will be absolutely huge this season just due to the injury records of Kovacic and De Bruyne. I think now rotation will go on, but you know how it will be at the second half of the season. J JSK says, by the way, who will be De Bruyne's replacement? I will rule out Musiala for sure. I don't think we are getting him out of Bayern. I don't think we are getting words because Tokis is going to Madrid with Xabi Alonso next season, who will ultimately replace Carlo Ancelotti there. So I don't know, guys. Honestly, who will be KDB's replacement? I don't think we are I don't think we are replacing him like for like because David Silva went. We didn't replace David Silva like for like. Yaya Toure went. Savio on the free kick. Can Savio score? It's a left footer's free kick. I think Savio will take. No, Kevin De Bruyne takes, but I thought it was a left footer's free kick. Savio's angle was superb there. Savio has to play Enrico Lewis. Just a bit of a misplaced pass. And also when Gundogan went, we didn't exactly replace Gundogan. We bought in Kovacic, different player. Gundogan was a passer and Kovacic is a ball carrier. Fernandinho went, we bought in Rodri. Fernandinho was an N'Golo Kante kind of midfielder, all action. Rodri is a Busquets kind of midfielder. So I think evidence has shown that we don't Pep doesn't always replace players like for like. Sunny event, we bought in Grealish, who is a different kind of a player to be honest. So that is wonderful from Kovacic. So actually, I don't see us buying a straight replacement for Gundogan. Sorry for Kevin De Bruyne, but I think Phil Foden is the heir to Kevin De Bruyne's throne. If he is not, it will be a very cruel blow on lad who's believed in us for so long. We need to reward him, and Pep will reward him. I think it has to be Phil Foden for me. Phil Foden is the heir to Kevin De Bruyne's throne. There's no doubt about it. I think he might not get many minutes this season because they'll be shared with Kevin De Bruyne. But I think Kevin De Bruyne, Jeremy Doku does absolutely well. Gets the ball. Jeremy Doku does absolutely well again. Rise to 2-3 challenges. Rico Lewis. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Phil Foden is the replacement to Kevin De Bruyne? I think he is. I think he is. To be honest, Cole Palmer could have been, but where Cole Palmer didn't believe, Phil Foden did. And I think Phil Foden's talent is right up there. It's better than Cole Palmer if you ask me. And Phil Foden shown what he can do from the central area last season. 19 goals, no penalty, 19 goals. Just in the Premier League, 19 goals. So for me, Foden's the replacement. JSK says Wirtz has more chance to go to Bayern than Madrid. Their midfield is stacked. I know Arda Güler is there, but you know how Madrid is like, to be honest. And also Bellingham is there, but if Xabi Alonso goes there, the talk is Wirtz also goes there. And also I don't think we are looking for Wirtz to come into the midfield because Kevin De Bruyne right-footed. If Wirtz comes in, you have Savio who's left-footed. You have Oscar Bob who's left-footed. You have Phil Foden who's left-footed. I mean Bernardo Silva. So Bernardo Silva left-footed. So I do not think Claudio Echeverri is coming, guys. Left-footed player again. If I'm not wrong, I think even Claudio Echeverri is left-footed. I do not think Pep will like so many left-footed players, to be honest. So Words is ruled out, I think, just because of which foot he is. Words left-footed player, he plays in the same pockets, for example, as Phil Foden. Words is exactly where Foden goes. I'll rule out Words. Musiala had a better chance because right-footed, he moves like De Bruyne, can play in that 4-4-2 as a second striker as well, just behind Haaland. But no way Words, I think, for me. Will not go for words. Gautam says, I just want to see McAtee and Bob more. Hope they work and we are in for a great one. Exactly, Gautam. I think Oscar Bob would be starting right now. I think maybe Savio and Oscar Bob would be starting if Bob was fit, and James McAtee is excellent in those small spaces. And also, I think we should not forget, guys, Claudio Echeverri is joining us in January. Claudio Echeverri left-footed as well. He plays in the same positions as Foden. Okay, it's not the polished article, but I think he will be in a year. Claudio Echeverri is just so good. The way he moves with the ball and stuff. This game should have been out of sight. Lewis hitting the post, De Bruyne hitting the post, and suddenly Ipswich score one more goal, and Ipswich score one goal, and suddenly we are again fighting for it. Jeremy Doku loses the ball. Kevin De Bruyne. Mateo Kovacic has to give it to Savio. They're so confident in giving the ball to Savio. Look at it. They're more confident in giving the ball to Savio than Rodri. Than Doku, I'm sorry. All our players come down through this right hand side. McAtee, even O'Reilly as well, Gautam. O'Reilly. I mean, if things would have worked out, probably Cole Palmer in place of Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. You suddenly have half of your team as academic graduates. Is it a penalty? Are they checking? I think Savio gets the ball over there. It would be very funny. It would be very funny if Savio was the one who got that penalty, conceded that penalty. That would just be very, very funny if you ask me. I think Savio takes this free kick if you ask me. Left footer on that left hand side. Yes, Savio is taking the free kick. What a free kick that is. Kevin De Bruyne. Ipswich Town trying to break. You can see the level of Savio already. The guy has barely played 45 minutes before this game, and suddenly City are trusting him on free kicks. City are trusting him on corners. City are trusting him on everything. To be honest, Liam Delap will not be so funny if he scores against us. We cannot let them score a second before the break. That will be cruel. That will be absolutely cruel. We should have been 5-1 up, honestly. We should have easily been 5-1 up. JSK says in Chelsea game, Cucurella completely pocketed Doku. But when flank was switched, Savio totally ranged Cucurella. Ranged is a very nice word, JSK. He just did not range Cucurella. उसने Cucurella को बर्बाद कर दिया. He absolutely destroyed Cucurella. I think twice or thrice he just went past Cucurella like there was no one there. And Chelsea fans are telling me Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the world after that Euro performance. Rodri was giving cover there. That's why it made Cucurella look like a lord. Kevin De Bruyne dictating play from deep. That could be his role this season. You never know. De Bruyne is dictating play from deep. Manuel Akanji, Rico Lewis, Manuel Akanji again. Savio just destroyed Cucurella. I think Savio on the left side as well was very good. He created a chance just before switch off line, so Bernardo Silva and Bernardo didn't miss it. The ball from KDB just couldn't reach Kovacic. That is wonderful from Kovacic. Akanji playing Savio. Savio is free. Savio is free over there. Just playing Savio. Playing Savio. Savio was so free over there. Rico Lewis. I just want to see Gundogan flooding the box as well from deep because Bernardo is not flooding the box as much. Gundogan's late runs into the box and suddenly it's impossible to mark him. Rico Lewis. Savio. Savio does extremely well. Well defended. Has to give credit to the Ipswich Town defender. Very well defended. This guy has already become a superstar, Savio. Mahrez took, I think, 1 year to settle down. And it just amazes me how Savio can come right away and he settles down. He settles down right away. Even in the Community Shield, Savio was superb. Just amazes me. Grealish, Premier League proven, takes a year and a half. Mahrez, superstars in the Premier League, help Leicester win a title, takes a year to settle down. Well, Raheem Sterling under Pep Guardiola took not a year but 3-4 months to fully understand the system. And suddenly you have these guys. Doku took time, and suddenly you have Savio who's just like, I've come here today, but tomorrow I can play in Pep's system. I think this highlights why City have formed that network of clubs under City Football Group. Because what City have realized is, what Tixiki Pakistan has realized, what Ferran Soriano has realized is, you send players on loan who you want to develop, but the clubs who you send it to on loan may not help them develop the way that you want them to. By creating a network of your own clubs, you can always monitor how many games they play, how do they develop, give the best to them, and then when it is all good, you can buy them back without hassle. This is a wonderful creation of Ferran Soriano. Jeremy Doku is in. Jeremy Doku is in. Erling Haaland blazes it over. Erling Haaland blazes it over. Erling Haaland blazes it over, guys. Erling Haaland just blazes it over. Oh my god. Erling Haaland blazes it over. I thought that was the hat-trick for Haaland. It was a difficult chance, but not a difficult chance for someone like Erling Haaland, if you ask me. Not at all a difficult chance for someone like Erling Haaland. Manuel Akanji has been a beast. I forgot to plug in the charger, guys. Just give me a second. Yes, I'm back. And this is the last minute of the half. Kova can play a long ball. Yes, he finds Haaland. He finds De Bruyne, to be honest. What a ball from Kovacic that is. Jeremy Doku cuts inside. Mario Kovacic, great ball from Kovacic. Mario Kovacic again. Savio, Rico Lewis, Savio. There are 10 more seconds to go. Can we get a fourth and finish it off in this half? Kovacic, Savio, put a cross in. He does. Just behind Erling Haaland. Just behind Erling Haaland. The cross is just behind Erling Haaland, and a first-class half, a 5-star half from Savio, to be honest. This is an absolutely 5-star half from Savio. Very good half from Savio. The ref is absolutely clueless, like Bayaji pointed out. One of the best performances. I would say that he had, I mean, not the best, but in one of the best in terms of, especially best right wing performances, I would say. Mahrez gave us many, the one against Spurs 2 seasons back when we were 2 nil down at half time. But Savio is, it reminded me of a few of very good performances from Leroy Sané, where he used to take players on. And also, it reminded me of certain performances from Riyad Mahrez, where he used to keep the ball, get keep two players hooked on the ball, and then do all of that stuff. So for me, Savino, what a signing, what a find. Savino, if you ask me, wow. Kudos to the scouts, kudos to everyone who got him loaned to Girona. I mean, many people don't know this. Girona was not Savino's first loan. Girona was Savino's second loan. He went from Troyes to an Eredivisie club. I think was it PSV, I think, and he was very bad over there. Didn't play much. And then he went to Girona and he was very good. So I think it just tells you how being sometimes patient with players really helps the development. But all in all, I think first goal, no pressing in the midfield. Edison's mistake, but the mistake was from the midfield. I'll not blame Edison or our centre backs for that. The mistake was the mistake actually was pressing in the midfield, to be honest. And and after that the pressing just improved so much. And also, what do you guys think about Kovacic? Guys, what are your comments about Kovacic? I thought he was superb against Chelsea. This game he had a flawless half. He had a flawless half, we would say. I think Pep is getting out of Kovacic what he maybe thought he might get out of Jorginho when Pep wanted to sign Jorginho as a Fernandinho replacement. If you remember all those years ago when Jorginho went to Chelsea because Sarri came there and stuff. I think Pep wanted someone. I mean, Pep wanted Jorginho because they say Jorginho was a pass master. He could play that aerial through balls and people could run and stuff. We had Sterling and Sané back then, and I think with Kovacic you can see flashes of that. Kovacic is, we can see flashes of aerial throughs with KDB running on, Haaland running on once or twice. He was shifting the balls out to Savio. Kovacic takes the ball and travels with the ball. I think he's the best at traveling with the ball, to be honest, Kovacic. So I think wonderful performance from Kovacic. JSK's Echeverry should be done the same. Exactly, JSK. I think one season loan to Girona. I think we we take a list of our top players and I think send them on loan to Girona. I think because anyway Savio's spot is vacant as well, and I think Girona have sold their Cam as well. I think even Martin or someone is also going off from Girona if I'm not wrong. So I think yeah, you're right. Send Echeverry to Girona, loan for 1 year, and then if he performs like Savio over there, get him back. Suddenly the strategy of City is super impressive in the transfer market. Bayaji says when Doku actually puts in a good ball, either the chance is missed or there aren't enough players in the box. Bayaji, what do you think about Gundogan's return? What do you think about Gundogan's return? Do you agree? Do you agree with it, or do you have certain doubts on Gundogan blocking, making Phil Foden's minutes a bit less? Gundogan hampering the development of someone like a McAtee, for example. Maybe Kovacic gets reduced minutes. Do you think that is the case, or are you on side with Gundogan's arrival? Because we have different views, and that is the beauty of this community. We have different views, and the argument is always super healthy. JSK put out good points, so I just wanted to know your point of view. And actually, I think if actually I think if Gundogan comes, then there'll be more people, getting into the box for Doku's cross because Haaland and Doku and Gundogan as well can get inside the box for Doku's cross. If you ask me, they're showing the first goal. Absolutely no press. Absolutely no press. And also the runner from the midfield. Rico Lewis absolutely cannot allow that runner from the midfield to go through. It's the mistake of the midfield not pressing, and also it's the mistake of Rico Lewis there. He absolutely cannot allow the runner from the midfield to go through. Rico Lewis will learn that. But then maybe I think that is where you maybe think Kyle Walker a little bit, because I'm just imagining Kyle Walker in place of Rico Lewis there. I think Walker goes on and gets. I think Walker goes on and catches up with the Ipswich Town attacker. JSK says, I don't understand why Pep makes an exception for Gundogan. He never brings back his ex players because Gundogan is his neighbor, JSK. Neighbors have the secrets. Neighbors have their secrets. On the lighter side, I think it was part a necessity of Pep Guardiola and also part a necessity for Gundogan, I think. Because when you see the circumstances, when it came out Gundogan wants to leave Barcelona, I think it was a week ago, City were still searching for a Rodri cover. They were searching for a player who would be happy to be on the bench and maybe play a few minutes. And maybe a player who could play multiple positions. City were not getting that profile of a player. Sander Berge is Haaland recommended him, it seems, but he's more of a six and he doesn't play many other positions. So Pep was looking for that kind of a player, and here comes the news to Pep that Gundogan is not. I mean, the Barca board has told Gundogan to leave because they cannot afford his wage. They want to register Danny Olmo and all of that shit, all of that stuff. So suddenly you have two people who need each other. Gundogan leaves City because the only other option for him were the Saudi clubs or something, or Fenerbahce, and Gundogan honestly thought he was still capable of playing it on a higher level. Of course, last season second best player in La Liga cannot just go to some Turkish league or Saudi league. So Gundogan wanted to play in the top five leagues, and no one was ready to get him in the top five leagues. I mean, who will get a 33-year-old player on those wages in the top five leagues? And Pep wanted a cover for Rodri. The transfer was free, which means I think Sander Berge was costing around 30 million pounds. Which means suddenly, even though considering Gundogan's salary and stuff, you save 30 million pounds over there. So I think it was something which both players needed, Gundogan and Pep Guardiola. That's why an exception was made. Be honest. I'll just check what are the scores in the other games, to be honest, which will be very interesting. Brighton 1-2-1 against Man United 90 plus 5. Very happy with that score line. Southampton Forest is 0-0. Palace West Ham is 0-0. City Ipswich, like we know, 3-1. Savio with 2 assists. I mean, if you're in fantasy, it's 2 assists or else 1 assist for Kevin De Bruyne. And then De Bruyne scores a goal and also assist for Erling Haaland. Very good for people in very good for people in the fantasy league. For Fulham against Leicester, it's Emil Smith Rowe scores a goal and Adama Traore is the assist, provides the assist. Let us see who scored the goals for Spurs. Bissouma and Son. For Bissouma Kulusevski is the assist giver. Interesting, Brennan Johnson is playing as a striker, to be honest, for Spurs. I'm just telling all of these details for anyone who's interested in fantasy football or something like that. But yeah, let's come back to this game. It's been superb City all round. For me, the only two places in this team that are a bit of a cause for concern are how will Pep Guardiola rotate between Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker? I think against the big teams, I mean, Lewis was excellent against Pedro Neto and Konko, but Lewis will learn from this instance. Pep will draw the tactics board and show him. Lewis should have run. That's what Walker did. Lewis should have run behind the Ipswich Town attacker, if I'm not wrong. By the way, Savio would be a great pick in FPL if any of you guys have him. The substitutions in the second half will be interesting. I think Gundogan comes on. He comes on in place of Kevin De Bruyne, not Kovacic. He comes on in place of Kevin De Bruyne. I think. I think Kovacic plays the entire 90 as well. I think Pep will look to manage the minutes of Kevin De Bruyne. I think one more goal and we would have seen substitutions at half time as well. City should have finished the game off. Rico Lewis, especially had so much. Yes, De Bruyne's shot was difficult, but Rico Lewis had so much time. He hit it with so much power. Maybe because there were a couple of players over there, to be honest. Otherwise, otherwise the game would have been long back. To be honest. Great weekend. Can get even better if Aston Villa can get something against Arsenal. This should be one of the most perfect weekends for City. United losing, this match is not over, but we're cruising here. And if Unai Emery can get something against Arsenal, will just be something else. Bayaji says Gundo return can hamper minutes for some players, but is still at the top of his game. And if Pep sanctions the move, then I'm all board on Gundo hype train. He's a proven clutch player, especially Bayaji. I think the last 10-15 games in the run in. A very good example by Ajay is us not being able. We battered Real Madrid at the Etihad last season Champions League. But why? But what we struggled was to score a goal. And who did we miss in that instance? Gundogan making those runs into the box. He might not have scored a goal, but he would have freed up Haaland. He would have freed up KDB. He could have freed up another player, right? He could have legit play, freed up another player, or Gundogan could have made the difference in that Madrid game at the Etihad last season. Nil-nil against Arsenal last season at the Etihad. They parked the bus, no late runs into the box. I think late runs into the box is an art which, how many midfielders can make late runs into the box? How many bloody midfielders can make late runs into the box? Can we count how many midfielders are there in the Premier League who can make those late runs into the box? On the top of my mind, I get Jude Bellingham. Then there is a Rikai Gundogan. And there are actually not many players who can make those late runs into the box. So that is what we are getting with Kunto. I think come the 10-15 games of the season at the end, I think everyone will realize why Pep Guardiola brought back Gundogan. I legit can't help to think about that midfield again. A treble winning midfield again. Rodri, KDB, Gundogan. It could be back again. Haaland strike. Savio right hand side. Then do you remove Bernardo? I don't know. Maybe it's Savio left, Bernardo right, I think. Or maybe Pep could put Bernardo on the left and say you do Jack Grealish's role. We're very, very close to that treble winning midfield and the players by getting Gundogan back. But City have come back here and we are on our way for the second half. I think Pep would have told them why it is three goals up. Should have been 4 and 5. I think City will have a very fast start to this half. Kevin De Bruyne looked like an emperor, looked like the boss, even at 32 years of age. City kicked the ball off and Rico Lewis, Jeremy Doku, Josko Guardiola. Josko Guardiola is getting involved more this half. The last half I did not see him get involved as much, but in this half it's just getting involved more and more. Josko Guardiola already right from the kickoff. Kevin De Bruyne out wide just to drag Ipswich Town's midfielder so that they do not know who they are marking. JSK says, by the way, what about Pep's contract? I think JSK that will be decided in December. I think uh, when Pep goes on that when we go on that summer break to Abu Dhabi typically. I think the overall expectation from everyone is Pep might leave, but I think Pep will extend an year more and then see. I think Pep will extend an year more and then actually see where it takes him. Because if Pep goes, I think the only option for him is to manage an international team because he's not going to manage in England again, not going to manage in Germany again. Spain, will he go to Barca with his financial issues? I don't think so. The only league left, he'll never go to the French league, I think. And then the only league left is the Italian league. Juventus, the Italian league is in a bad shape. Not not as competitive for Pep's liking. He'll finish the league by September in the first month itself if he goes to the Italian league. JS says if he leaves, he won't manage another club. Ipswich Town steal the ball and a break is on, a counter is on. It's 2v3 at the back. We cannot allow them to score, guys. Remember, it's just 3-1. One more goal in their back in it. Rico Lewis. The positioning is very good from Rico Lewis. Look at it there. He did a mistake, but has the courage there to. Kovacic, that is wonderful from Kovacic there. What a ball carrier. That is superb from Mateo Kovacic. Bernardo Silva. I think Kovacic is struggling and Kovacic is down. I think Kovacic is down already. I think this would honestly have been trouble for us in any other season because Rodri is not there. Kovacic is down. Now who will you play in that midfield? Thank God Gundogan is back. I hope it's not a serious injury or something. But Kovacic is down. Yeah, exactly, Gautam. Kova is down already. And just imagine Gundo is not back. What would happen? It's panic stations all around. Just imagine if Gundo is not back. Who will play in that CDM role? Matthews Nunez maybe. That's the only option we had left. JSK is not that to bring him. You need a whole institution, not only money. Exactly, you need an institution. You need owners who trust on the project. You need a lot of things to bring Pep in. You need a great director of football. You need a great CEO and all of those things. You're right. It's just that if Pep comes, it's not just the style of football, but impacts the entire culture around the club as well. To be honest, but the thing is, JSK, if he leaves, he won't manage any club. But Pep is younger than Ten Hag. Pep is younger by 1 or 2 years than Ten Hag. Pep is not even in his 60s. I think Pep is just in his late 50s, for example. So do you think Pep will actually quit management? You know how much obsessed he is with football. International. John Stone. This is Pep's plan. I think maybe John Stones is coming in that CDM role. John Stones, Kovacic is coming off. John Stones is coming in that CDM role. Pep has something else in his mind. John Stones is playing in that CDM role. I think Pep won't be satisfied JSK with just international management. I think where he gets to work with the players once in a blue moon or something like that, and where he gets to play a major tournament once in 4 years or something like that. So I think Pep legit won't be satisfied with that. Not now. I somehow expect Pep to be in management for at least 5 to 10 years more at a club level. It would be great if he's with us. Gautam says, gosh, Mohan, we talk something, it turns out to be true. Talking about Gundogan, it turned out to be true. Sadly about Kovacic, but I hope Kovacic is not injured as much. but it's interesting. I honestly thought he would bring on Gundogan, but John Stones is there. John Stones is the CDM there. Let's have a keen eye on John Stones and how he plays there. We know he's played there very well in the past. There's an out and out DM. But Kovacic was playing so well. Back to see Kovacic go out. JSK says he will probably take a break for some time and manage international or come back to City. It would be superb, JSK, if Pep decides to take a sabbatical for 1 or 2 years and Pep does an arrangement that for these 2 years, Juan Malilo will manage you and then I'll be back. And, and the funny thing would be if he would win the Premier League and trophies without Pep in the dugout as well, with just Pep relaying instructions. That would be funny. Mikel Arteta would be scratching his head. But anyway, who do you guys think? Who do you guys think would be the ideal replacement for Pep if ever Pep goes? Maybe in a year. I don't want him to go, but I know we've discussed it quite a lot on this channel, but all of those alternatives have moved on. De Zerbi's moved on, Arteta has moved on. A lot of them, Ten Hag's moved on. Lot of them have moved on, to be honest. So who do you think will be the next manager for City? Sumant is here. Hey Sumant, how are you doing? He says it's time to ask Mr. RVK, is there a deal for Foden and Rodri? Because neither of them are available. It's the effort. It's the effect, Sumant. It's the combined effect. Gautam says we better talk about a 5 feet and treble. Yes, Gautam. Yes. Last time also, Gautam. Remember we were talking about this. Do we want the Champions League or the Premier League? And you were telling 4-peat, the 4-peat Premier League is way higher than the Champions League. And what happened? As it looked as if Arsenal cannot be stopped. And look at what happened. And look at what happened. We won the 4-peat. It would be superb, Gautam, if we repeat it again, a treble. This time we got the Community Shield as well. We can focus. I think with the squad we have, I think for a long time in a while, I think we can focus on the Carabao Cup as well. Pep lost that competition and didn't win it for a while. So honestly, I think there is a chance of us doing it all. Guys, do we have a chance to do Invincible this season? Do we have a chance to do Invincible this season? That would shut the mouth of Arsenal fans. For me, I think 5-peat and the Champions League, but Invincible. Can we do Invincible? Dark Carnage says Man City will win the quadruple. That's it. Dark Carnage says Man City will win the quadruple. I feel it. More and more fans should feel it. Dark Carnage, more and more fans should feel it, actually, to be honest. I think it's those vibes that people might not believe in it, but it's the vibes that just go out. I somehow have the vibes that we could do Invincible this season. It might be hard, but we could do Invincible in the Premier League this season. We could do that. I somehow have that feeling, that vibes. But honestly, guys, but but honestly, guys, just imagine Pep Guardiola started his career at Barcelona, and then he's on a 6 feet there. I mean, how ironic it would be that if Pep Guardiola in his last season at club football level goes off with a 6 feet, 6 feet. Erling Haaland picks up the ball. John Stones, that is excellent CDM play by John Stones. That is wonderful. Otherwise, I think Liam Delap was through over there. I think Liam Delap was through. There was no cover as well, I think. John Stones was wonderful there. I think Diaz was back, but City are playing with fire here. We need to get that fourth goal, guys, because suddenly it's 3-2 and panic stations start coming. Gautam says new target logged. Yes, Gautam logged. So many possibilities for us this season, and also I think the pressure is a little bit off. If I'm really honest, last season it was four-peat. No one's ever done it in a Premier League season or back-to-back Champions Leagues, which only Madrid have done. But this season, I think it's a bit more relaxed. Pep can give more freedom to players. I won't say hunger is not there, but I think the opponent is tense than new. I think when Arsenal chased us 2 years back, Arsenal were not that tensed because no one expected Arsenal to give a title challenge. No tension. Last season, everyone thought City will drop off after the treble season, and Arsenal didn't take trust. They thought City would drop off. This is wonderful there from Savio, Savino, KDB, Savino again, KD. Not on the same page. Will take just a little bit of time. Once they are on the same page, KDB, Savino, KDB, Haaland, it would just be massacre. Rico Lewis. By the way, guys, name one managerial name. Just one name. If you think you are given the option to replace Pep Guardiola, and there's only one name, one person you can name, who would be that to replace Pep Guardiola? The end of the season. I think we need to score another just to make it safe and just to take any hope of a comeback away from Ipswich Town, because you never know. Because you never know, a set piece, a free kick, anything can happen. This is football. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Josko Guardiola. I think Haaland was offside over there, or the offside flag was up. I don't know why this referee and his team, I think they're managing the Premier League for the first time. They're always kind of a bit late. They look a bit flustered and all of that stuff. Anyway, that's again very good pressing from Bernardo Silva. He's led the press superbly throughout today. Jeremy Doku, wonderful again. And it's a free kick for Ipswich Town. It's a yellow card to Ruben Diaz. City just being a little bit careless in possession there. Guys, the game is not over. 3-1 and it could be anything. It's a long free kick by Ipswich Town. I hope these are the moments. We should have been at least 5-1 up, at least 4-1 up, if not 5-1. Suddenly, if Ipswich score here, you are again on. It's a nervy ending again. To be honest, the danger is not cleared yet. The danger is absolutely not cleared yet. Guys, go and press him. Yes, he's offside. He's offside. But the ref gives a corner. Bloody hell. It's a corner for Ipswich Town. Ah, these are tense moments. These are absolutely tense moments. The game's nowhere over. In swinging corner. For God's sake, it's a counter attack. Savio does extremely well. Savio does extremely well to pass. Yes, he's given the ball back. Ah, bit of a mistake there from Savio. But City recover well. It just looks weird, a bit lackluster. There, after losing Kovacic a bit, there's no one to drive and take the ball from midfield. But Rico Lewis finding himself in the center of defense. Now he goes back to his role. He's playing alongside John Stones, like we all know, and Rico Lewis. City are slowing the game down, which I don't like. Get the fourth and finish it off. Get the fourth and finish it off, guys. We can't be dropping points. Manuel Akanji is looking to hit a diagonal, but I do not think there is a diagonal available there. Ruben Diaz. Savio, great ball there almost. It's just that the understanding is not there as Savio tries to do some skill, just doesn't come up. And Rico Lewis does extremely well. Looks to thread it to Erling Haaland. Just that there were too many Ipswich bodies in the middle. City are pressing very well. It's a throw in for City. Gautam says it's difficult to replace Pep. No one can match him as such. I don't think there's a replacement for Pep in this world. I think what I don't want us to become is what happened to United after Alex Ferguson left. I don't want us to become that, to be honest. Or what happened to Barcelona after Pep left, to be honest. Or even Luis Enrique left, you could say. I actually think the Girona manager Michels is perfect for for the replacement of Pep Guardiola. I think it's offside for Jeremy Doku. Yeah, it's offside, but you know Michel's there plays. There's someone called as Miguel Goitres. Michel's there plays Miguel Goitres in the same role that Pep Guardiola is playing Rico Lewis in. It's on the opposite flanks, but yeah, it's the same role. Exactly, Gautam. Michel Deserbi, maybe I would prefer Michel there because Michel, you know what they say about Michel at Girona. They say he plays street football. That's how courageous he is. Savio, Rico Lewis, Kevin De Bruyne, Manuel Akanji. Bernardo, the angle for Bernardo Silva was very tight over there. I think Deserby for me hasn't shown as much at Brighton. His first season was good, but second season I won't say it's found out, but he didn't show me that he could adapt. But Michel's as well, I think he's had 2 seasons at Girona, if I'm not wrong. This will be his third season. We'll monitor him this season, but I think Michel's has got all of those ingredients you would say as a manager to replace Pep. Savino taking the corner in, swinging left-footed corner. We have been shit at taking corners till now, so let's see. So, give Savino again. What a save! What a save that is by Aaron Muric. That was 4-1. I thought Ruben Diaz there with a fantastic header. Diaz thought that was in. It's actually Erling Haaland, I'm sorry. Erling Haaland thought that was in. Erling Haaland thought that was his hat trick. Couldn't do anything else. That is a fantastic save from Aaron Muric. Gautam says even Flick will be interesting. But Gautam, I think looking at how we have the culture and on the club and how we are growing, I think we will look at managers who are upcoming so that they can, you know, stay at the club for long. I think we'll be looking at longevity when we look to replace Pep, to be honest, than over experience, I think. Because the longer a manager dedicates to the club, the more that culture can be there. Clubs are struggling to, implement a culture. Chelsea is struggling. United in a way after Sir Alex Ferguson struggling. Arsenal struggled so much to get that longevity going. Yes, Wenger was there, but after that, so I think City will look to sign a manager who will, who is up and coming himself, so that he can take all of the youth along with him as well, and who will stay at the club for long. I don't think Hansi Flick will stay at the club for long, and also I think City will look to bring in a manager who's been through the City football group system. That is a wonderful phase of play between Haaland and Rico Lewis over there. I think one of the qualifications for the next manager, whoever it could be, will be that he is through the City football group system, so that the culture is understood. It's almost like hiring an intern is easy than hiring an outside employee. Rico Lewis is very good, and I think that's a penalty. That's a penalty. He's pushed Rico Lewis. That's a clear penalty over there. This ref maybe does not have the courage to give pens, but let's see it on the replay. I think Lewis was going down a little bit more easily there, but Rico Lewis in the box is just absolutely amazing. Kevin De Bruyne. We cannot allow Ipswich Town to score another one. For me, I think Michel's is the hot name. Maybe Vincent Kompany, because Pep said he can see Kompany back at City, but apart from those two names, I just do not see anyone else. Josko Guardiola does extremely well. The game's not over yet, guys. Get the fourth and let us watch in peace. Gautam says Pep always claims that Kompany will manage City one day. It will also depend on the recommendations of Pep, I think, because Pep will surely recommend someone. It might not be the best because Sir Alex Ferguson, for example, recommended Moyes, and you see how that has ended up. So, so I think the decision will be a collective decision that is taken, just not on the recommendations of Pep. Will be a really interesting thing to see. Jeremy Doku there running with the ball. Jeremy Doku there, look at that burst of pace. And it's a corner for City. JSK says, don't want this guy anywhere near here. Are you talking about Hansi Flick, JSK? Are you talking about Hansi Flick? But look at it. Jack Grealish and Ilkay Gundogan, both are coming. Both are coming. Kevin De Bruyne goes off. I think he's taking the corner, but I think it's mostly, I think, Kevin De Bruyne who will go off. And for Jack Grealish, I think it's Jeremy Doku off. Ah, that was a cute little thing by Bernardo Silva. Mahrez and KDB would. JSK says no deserve autocorrect. Yeah, okay, I get you now. I get you now. get no. I don't want Deserby anywhere near City. I mean, in his first season at Brighton, I was like kind of excited about how he was making them play, and when Brighton played us, they were pressing well and stuff. But again, with Deserby, I did not see the ability to adapt. So no Deserby for me, unless it is something extraordinary at Marseille or whichever club he is in France. But I think Michels has to be a very strong target. Michels has to be up there in that discussion. Gautam says Tixiki, Pep, Khaldun will do what's best for the club. Exactly. When these three sit together, it's not very. It's only very rare that they have made wrong decisions. De Bruyne loses the ball and Ipswich are on the attack. John, do a foul. John Stones had to foul him. He's given the ball away. It's now open on that far side. But the cross is shit. Nervy moments. I know it's 3-1, but guys, 3-2 and it can be so nervous. Remember the Leeds game 2 seasons back when we were chasing Arsenal for the title? We were 2-0 up. Gundogan misses the penalty to make it 3-0. Leeds go the other end and score. It was 2-1. Sam Allardyce was the manager. Rodrigo scored for Leeds that day. And I just went out of the stream for 5 minutes literally. I couldn't watch that nervy finish. Leeds against City 2 seasons back. That's what could happen, in these kind of games. You have to close it out. Both Doku and Savio are gone. Interesting. Grealish and Gundogan are there. So yeah, Bernardo goes on to the right, Grealish on to the left, Gundogan in the center. So Stones, Gundogan, De Bruyne. This is almost similar, close to that treble winning midfield. Rodri is not there, I know, but it's close because Stones comes into the midfield to form a box then with Rodri. So Gundogan, KDB are back in the midfield now. गौतम जैसे he is back. The return of our captain गुंडा वापस आ गया है इस शहर का गुंडा. Gundogan KDB in the same midfield. I thought he'll give KDB some rest, but he's playing KDB. He played KDB against Chelsea almost the 90 minutes. He's playing KDB 90 minutes here. I think people in the fantasy Premier League would have just misread it completely. A lot of people have thought Phil Foden will be the one getting maximum minutes, but it's KDB here who's getting maximum minutes. Gautam just clutch word for made was made for Gundo. They realized the value of the word clutch moments when they saw Gundogan perform. I'll still not forget 2 seasons ago against Everton. We were not able to break the deadlock. Gundogan scores a superb goal. It was not a bicycle kick, but it was a chest kick, something like that. That was just superb from Gundogan there. Maybe I think we can drag this out a little bit. Yes. Yes. Now it's perfect. You can see the goal scorers there as well. Yeah. JSK says should have been McAtee. But again, JSK, look at it. Kovacic is injured. We do not know the level of fitness of John Stones. John Stones is never fit the entire season. Kovacic is now. What a ball that is, Jackery. Kevin De Bruyne is through. Kevin De Bruyne is through. Ah! What have we done? Guys, what have we done there? What the hell has just happened, guys? It's offside and it saves the blushes. It's offside and it saves the blushes. KDB was clearly offside. Offside has saved the blushes here for all of us. Offside has saved the blushes, guys. Here for all of us. That was what a chance and what a run that is. I mean, just imagine Gundogan making that run. But JSK, it could have been McCarthy, honestly. But again, where is the cover for Rodri? I think that is why Gundogan has come. I understand where you're coming from, JSK, but I think where is the cover for Rodri? That is the question. I know Kovacic is there, but he's not exactly the fittest. Will be not so funny if Liam Delap scores. Josko Guardiola does well. It's a City free kick. JSK says Spurs battered Everton. What is the score over there, JSK? What is the score over there? Let's check the scores. Fulham 2-1. West Ham 2. Crystal Palace 0. Bowen scores is in my fantasy team. Nottingham Forest Southampton. Gibbs White scores. Spurs Everton. Hong-Min Son 2 goals. Wow. Hong-Min Son 2 goals. JSK says 4-0. That's what I was checking. Hong-Min Son 2 goals. But the result, JSK, of the first game is superb. Erling Haaland, will he get a hat trick today? I don't know. I think Erling Haaland needs to get a hat trick today, to be honest. Gundogan there on the ball, controlling stuff. Ilkay Gundogan. It just looks like he's never left, to be honest. Jack Grealish. The role of Grealish will be very interesting in this squad, especially where will you fit Foden in all this. Manuel Akanji. Bernardo Silva on the right, back to his usual role. Bernardo Silva again. And actually, I thought Sean Dyche's defense would be very good to keep some of his defensive players in the fantasy league, but no. 4-0. Son 2 goals. JSK says Grealish role is flight to Saudi with proper winger when proper wingers is not needed. Flight to Saudi. But Jack, the flight is ready, JSK. Jack Grealish does not want to get on that flight. That is the problem. Rico Lewis, Erling Haaland. The ball just taken off his foot. Ilkay Gundogan tracking back. Manuel Akanji with his change in pace. Rico Lewis does extremely well. And it's Kevin De Bruyne. Can he find Erling Haaland? No, he doesn't look to. I think he has to find Jack Grealish. Yes, the ball is for Jack Grealish. And Jack Grealish does what he does well. Gets it a corner. JSK says he won't have problem there. Alcohol is legalized there for tourists. That might not be a problem at all, JSK, because he will earn so much there that he can maybe arrange a chartered flight once in 2 days or 3 days to just come to Manchester, have whatever he wants, have the drinks, whatever he wants, and then come back. I think that is not the problem. Ikai Gundogan, they're wonderful balling, fantastic balling. Bernardo Silva. But I just think if it's a match against Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich or whoever it is, I actually think Grealish starts in those Champions League games over Doku for me. For me, it's Savio on one side and Doku on the other side. Hell, I would say Pep will bench both Savio and Doku, and in those games he will start Grealish on one wing, Bernardo on the other wing, with the midfield of Rodri, KDB, Gundogan. The treble winning midfield, I think. I think in big games, Pep could go that route, to be honest. Bernardo Silva again on the wing. Look at how much control the game is right now. Ipswich are just pinned in that half. They just don't know what to do. They're not getting the ball. They're chasing shadows here. Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish. Ah, ah. Still it stands for me. One goal for Ipswich and suddenly everything's on the line for us. Even a draw is not acceptable here. But honestly, JSK and Gautam, where do you play? Where do you play Phil Foden in this setup? Where do you see the role of Phil Foden in this setup? To be honest, an absolute superstar doesn't even make the squad. JSK says if Pep substituted Doku in that Madrid second leg early, we would have easily won it. Exactly, both of their fullbacks were there for the taking. Honestly, I mean, if those are the fullbacks that Madrid play, I think Madrid are playing with the same fullbacks. I think this season, Furlan Mendy is there, but is no good. Mendy and Carvajal. Just imagine Savio and Doku on Mendy and Carvajal, and Gundogan making those runs from the deep, along with Kevin De Bruyne. That would be something else. What I think Pep was concerned about Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, the counter attacks, right? That was the reason, why Doku didn't come in early. Pep wanted to stay in the game for as long as possible. Gautam says he'll be used on the right flank and be wasted, to be honest. Hopefully that's not the case, Gautam, because that will actually be very sad, to be honest. If that is the case, because honestly, if it's any other player, you probably would say KDB, Gundogan, no place in the midfield, Rodrigo Vasic, and all of that. But for me, he is one of our own. Grew up in the academy from age 8 or 9 years. Last season, is won us the title by himself with those wonderful strikes. I do not want Foden to be that. And above all, I think Phil Foden trusted the process when no one did. When a Jadon Sancho didn't, when a Cole Palmer didn't. Phil Foden trusted the process. And I think if you trust the process here, the reward will be huge, like what Rico Lewis is getting. I think Erling Haaland gets onto the ball. Jack Grealish. Can we head it in? Can we head it in? Akanji does well and City recover the ball. Kevin De Bruyne. JSK says, and with Savio, I don't think Madrid will be a problem. Home. That is true. That is true with Savio. Savio and Doku on both the flanks, I think we can destroy Madrid, to be honest. Gautam says, I want KDB to be rotated with Foden. That's what can be done. Exactly, Gautam. That's what I'm thinking along those lines. I think if Foden is given the day off today, I think in the next match, maybe KDB. Rico Lewis! Should have gone for the spectacular there. It's a corner for City. That is wonderful. Rico Lewis is just Gundogan is telling him, proud of you, mate, for what you're doing inside the box. Been a much tougher game of Ipswich Town than I anticipated. I think looking at the last two performances of Ipswich Town, I think they might as well just stay up. Never know. I had in my Premier League predictions, I had Leicester to stay up and Forest to get relegated just because of Jamie Vardy. But I think yeah, KDB could miss the next game and Foden could start. I think that's how it is, to be honest, right now. Or maybe I think KDB Bernardo can't be. I think one of Bernardo and Gundogan will be rotated, and Savio and Doku Grealish. There's already a rotation. Savio Bernardo. I think there'll be rotation on the right wing, for example. Or maybe he could even play Foden on the right wing and tell him to cut inside. Never know. Gautam says City are literally pumping Ipswich quite badly. Madrid memories. Madrid was pumped even more badly, Gautam. I think Ipswich are are actually playing a bit better than what Madrid did on that day. That day, I think you play that game 100 times, 99 times. Madrid get pumped in that game, at least 4-0, 5-0. That we absolutely destroyed Madrid on that day that you had. Absolutely destroyed them. We absolutely destroyed them, to be honest. But yeah, it's you know it's Real Madrid. The luck, you could say luck, footballing gods and all. But maybe I think if we had gone through against Real Madrid, I don't think we win the Premier League last season. Because you looked at how exhausted the squad already was. I didn't think Rodri had the legs to play two more legs against Bayern in the Champions League and then play after 3 days in the Premier League and all of that stuff. I think last season if we went far in the Champions League, we would not have won the Premier League. 2 seasons before us, and then that was the case, I think. Erling Haaland, Rico Lewis, you're right, JSK. He needs to hit the gym. And it's a hat trick for Erling Haaland. It's a bloody hat trick for Erling Haaland. We are only in the second match of the season and he's already scored 4 goals. It's 3 goals for Erling Haaland. Wow. What a goal machine this guy is. Probably might be the best striker the Premier League has ever seen. Is that good? He's definitely the best striker in the Premier League right now. What a goal from Erling Haaland. This is wonderful. 4 goals already. Just the second game. Ball bouncing off Rico Lewis and that strike from outside the box is just deadly. It's just deadly. Just look at that finish from outside the box. No chance. That's curled into the bottom right corner. No chance. Absolutely no chance. That is Erling Haaland at his bloody absolute best. What a goal that is for Erling Haaland over there. He's now scoring goals from outside the box as well consistently. That goal, Gautam says, what a goal. Hat-trick completed. That goal was a real banger. It is very, very good. And now Matthews Nunez and James McAtee, Erling Haaland substituted after scoring his hat trick. Bayaji says Erling Haaland is unbelievable. What a finisher. Take a bow. And Bayaji, I will never forget what they said after the Community Shield game 2 seasons back, if you remember, against Liverpool. 3 seasons back, in fact, 2 seasons back, the Community Shield game. What did they say? Darwin Nunes better finisher than Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland will be a flop at City. Say, there was some guy on social media telling Erling Haaland will not cross 20 goals for the season. It would be great if he could score 20 goals for the season. We will never forget all of that. And look at it. Erling Haaland just in his third season is is nearing 100 goals for the club already. And in the Premier League itself, I think he has close to 65 70 goals already in the Premier League itself. JSK says, what the F McAtee at 90 minutes. Part of the reason why I never wanted Gundogan back. But honestly, I think JSK, this is just the first season for McAtee, I think, right? Even if Gundogan wasn't there, I think Pep would not have given more minutes to McAtee. This is the developmental season for James McAtee, to be honest. And also, I think it's a perfect transition, which any City fan can expect, to be honest, I think, because James McAtee will develop this season. Next season, he might play more minutes, and by this season, probably next season end, Gundogan will go, and James McAtee would step into that role with ease. Suddenly, you imagine there's no Gundogan, we bring in another box to box midfielder like Sander Berge or someone else who we were linked with. Suddenly, James McAtee's position is already gone. So I think this is the perfect way for James McAtee to in fact transition into the team, to be honest. And also I think Bernardo Silva is 30, Kevin De Bruyne 30, 233, Gundogan 34 will be this year in a few months. You you suddenly look at the aging midfield and suddenly you can see James McAtee, Matt O'Reilly. They have that light down the tunnel. They have that light. It's just 1 or 2 years. That's it. And I'm sure that we will not bring in a huge midfielder like a Florian Wirtz and all. I know Claudio Echeverri is coming in, but that's it. I don't think. I think this time what City will do is transition these players into that midfield. To be honest, Rico Lewis he could play in that midfield as well. That turn is super from Rico Lewis, Zidane-esque, dare I say. I know Zidane was more physical, but some of the turns in the midfield from Rico Lewis are Zidane-esque. To be honest. Gautam says McAtee will be used in Carabao and maybe FA Cup this season for sure. But a clear pathway is there, Gautam. Maybe when a Sancho was coming through, when a Cole Palmer was coming through, that clear pathway was not there. I do agree that clear pathway was not there. Because, for example, when Palmer was coming through, Palmer's best position is the cam, and you had an in prime Bernardo, in prime KDB, in prime Gundogan. This was just 2 seasons ago. And suddenly there's a light now for the academy players to come through. To be honest, there's gonna be a huge gap in that midfield in the next 1 or 2 seasons. It will be great if we can see Matt O'Reilly, James McAtee, Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. 4 names I've already named. Maybe Callum Doyle because I see him as a future prospect. So at least these five. So at least these 5 players regularly playing after 2 years for City. That would just be fantastic. Rico Lewis, Rico Lewis again mopping it up. Manuela Kanji. Jack Grealish. That's a penalty. That's a clear penalty. What the hell is this ref, guys? Who the hell is this ref? That's a clear penalty, guys. Jack Grealish is getting a yellow card as well. That's a clear penalty. I think even the defender knows that. That's a clear penalty. Let's see. This is the best angle. He stamps on Grealish's foot. If that is not a penalty, what is a penalty? I don't know. Guys, that is a clear penalty. Gautam, that is as clear a penalty as you would have got. Any other ref would have blown the whistle straight up. The ref is saved his blushes by the offside flag. It's an offside, it seems. The flag was not raised when the ref gave that decision. This ref, I'll give it to him that he's just starting out in the Premier League and he has his nerves. What a game by City, 1-0 down. But City then rolled into town and made this first game a memorable one for all of us fans. City's first home game and it's been superb. A customary Erling Haaland hat-trick coming. I think Haaland scores 2 more hat-tricks or 3 more hat-tricks and he'll overtake the record of Alan Shearer. I think this season the greatest challenge for Pep Guardiola will be how does Pep Guardiola rotate the squad? How does he keep De Bruyne and Foden happy? How does he keep Bernardo and Savio happy? How does he keep Ake and Guardiola happy? Because Nathan Ake deserves to play. You look at our backline, Akanji, main central defender for Switzerland, Diaz, Portugal, Guardiola, one of the main central defender for Croatia, Nathan Ake, Netherlands, John Stones, the main central defender for England, Kyle Walker, the best right back in the world. And suddenly there's no space for half of them in the team. So I mean, how does Pep rotate and does stuff? That is the big question this season. What does Pep do? He has to rotate at the back. He has to rotate at the front. The midfield as well right now just looks so much more stacked. Bayaji says below standard refereeing. Bayaji, I think this ref, it's his first game because I've never seen him in the Premier League referee any game. It's not that I watch all the games, but never seen this Premier referee in the Premier League. So I actually think it's his first game. They've given it at the Etihad, a big game, the champions in town, four-time winners, big manager Pep Guardiola, and I think he just had nerves. I think so. Just excuse this ref for once. He had nerves. I think that's all. Just like people have when they're starting the job or something on the first day. So I think that is what this ref had. But honestly, not good refereeing at all. I think City should have had a fifth goal as well. It's just fifth goal. Gundogan would have taken the penalty, and what a return it would be for Ilkay Gundogan, to be honest. That would have been superb for Ilkay Gundogan. So, so for me, what a game again. And what do you guys think? United, Brighton win. City, Ipswich. City win. Question mark. Question mark. What will happen? Aston Villa, Arsenal. What will happen? Question mark. Unai Emery there. What will happen? I don't know. And honestly, guys, in the squad, there's another name today which has not stood out, but I think Issa Kabore. Pep has put him constantly on the bench. He was on the bench for Community Shield. Issa Kabore is on the bench for this match. Even though Kyle Walker's there in the Community Shield, he was not there, but here Issa Kabore, he was actually there. So I actually think Pep will play Issa Kabore more in the Carabao Cup or something. But Issa Kabore could he be the long-term replacement of Kyle Walker? Because he's explosive, he's a beast, his pace is very good, and his tackling his interceptions. Isakabora is a beast actually. He's very very good with his crossing as well. So that remains to be seen in a way. Other than that, I think apart from the first goal, everything was first class. The way we managed the tempo. Just sad to see Kovacic go off early. Hope that's not a big injury again. But Savio for me again can go both ways. Very good right foot. The crosses is delivering into the box. Set pieces. He's in the corners. Looks like after December from January there'll be more than one clutch player. Gundogan, Haaland, Savio, Foden, De Bruyne. I think Arsenal fans should see this and be scared. It's just absolutely superb all round. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot again. A great win for City. Let's see what will happen. Aston Villa, Arsenal, and Villa and maybe this weekend is already sweet. It could be even more sweeter. We never know come midnight. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me here and JSK, Gautam, Sumant, Bayaji, everyone. Thank you for joining me and see you all, guys, and take care.